welcome to another episode of Southdown Garage. We're back here at Racing Greed with the Explorer behind me, and we're doing some dyno testing with the Explorer with the performance tune from Ford, and we're trying to see what power it makes. What we're going to do today is we're going to do 93 stock, we're going to do 93 with the tune, and we're going to do 93 with 30% ethanol. And then just for you guys, we're going to see how much ethanol this thing will take before it detunes itself and lowers the horsepower numbers. So basically what I want to also mention today is about 8 degrees Celsius. I will put right here what that is in Fahrenheit for all of our American friends. And it's about 77% humidity. At the end of the video, I will let you know what the density altitude is, because that also does play into it. Let's get into the video. We have a stock number of 324 and 375 foot-pounds of torque. It's lower than the last time we were here. I need you guys to understand that sometimes temperatures and everything else have to play in this. So don't get too upset. It's just a number. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead. We're going to throw in the Ford Performance Tune. And then we're gonna wait until it finishes its thing. And then once it's done, we're gonna do it again. And then we're gonna jump up the power. Now, one of the things I've found with these things is they really love ethanol. And so we have 25 liters of 93s, and then we have 20 liters of ethanol that we can play with. Of course, we're not gonna go 50-50. That I'm not that crazy. Come on now.
I'm not that crazy, come on now.
So, torque 416, horsepower 363. So it's quite a bit of a jump between the Ford Performance Tune and this. So we're gonna do a couple more runs. We're gonna see if this will improve. Obviously it's just checking everything out, and then we'll start adding ethanol. This run is with E85. Let's see what we can do. I think it's about E60, to be honest. So let's see what it does. Yeah, so don't add extra What does the graph show? I wonder if that graph is a little smoother at the top, or really no advantage to. Now you know. We tested 3 different states: 93 stock, 93 tuned, and E30 tuned. When I spoke to Ford on the phone, they never tested E30. The highest they tested was 93. So this was a different area for us. We're curious to see what kind of power this made. A lot of you know that this was claimed to have made about 30 horsepower, but I was super surprised to see what power it really made. There are some people out on the internet that have really dogged this tune. They said that it doesn't make any power. Well, that's not what I saw today. As a matter of fact, I saw more gains than we should have. The reason I was so surprised is because there is torque limiting put on this system that's only supposed to allow about 50 foot-pounds of torque increase. But nobody could explain why it increased so much. And that's what's so puzzling about this thing. Ford Performance removes torque limiting from its transmission, but leaves limiting on the engine mapping. So theoretically, it shouldn't have made this kind of power. In saying that, a lot of you noticed that even after putting the tune on this vehicle, when I posted on Facebook, it wasn't making high-end gains. The best I could do is run a 13.37. That was the best run I could do. So we went back to the drawing board and said, well, what's going on here? We took it out for a drive and did some data logging with HB Tuner software to see what was going on with the Explorer. And here's what we found. Between 80 and 100% throttle request, it would give you 100% throttle until it saw a specific parameter increase to the point where it dropped it from 100% down to 60, regardless of what your throttle input was. That was your exhaust gas temps. It would climb to a point, would hit a limit switch, and would cause the vehicle to pull back on the throttle body. Interesting. The other interesting part is why that would happen. It seems that the Ford Performance tune runs richer. Is it richer than other tunes? I would imagine not. Ford would probably put this in to make it safer for anyone to run this tune and not to damage the engine. You never want to run your vehicle lean because that will destroy the pistons in your engine, chipping little corners off of them and so on and so forth. On the flip side, however, too rich causes a great increase in exhaust gas temperatures. So too much fuel can also destroy emissions components, such as your catalytic converters, because it's going to overheat them. It's also going to destroy fuel economy. I would be curious to see if ZFG did the same thing. I'm going to go on a limb here and say probably not, because they seem to understand exactly how to make power with this Explorer. But I will be very curious to take a look at that. There's a hint for you. Now on to the power numbers, because that's what you guys really wanted to see. Stock 93 was 324 horsepower and 374 foot-pounds of torque. Stock. With Ford Performance on 93, we were at 362 horsepower, 414 foot-pounds of torque. The Ford Performance tune on E30 was 384 horsepower and 430 foot-pounds of torque. That's quite considerable. Just in case you're wondering, between stock and tuned on E30, it was 60 horsepower gain and 57 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty incredible. That's much higher than Ford's advertised 30 horsepower. Thanks for watching this episode of South Down Garage. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you don't miss any more content on the Explorer. I promise you, you'll want to see this next batch of content. Let us know how we did in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the Ford Performance tune? As always, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care, and we'll see you on another episode of South Down Garage. Bye for now.